Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us to one of our very first installments of Meet My Hobby Friends here. Ian McKesson is a top sketch artist, and I'm super excited to have him here in studio. And not only are we going to get to know more about his story, we're actually going to go live with him on Fanatics Live, and we'll show you all the behind the scenes on all of that. So thanks so much for joining us.
Excited to make this opportunity happen, and excited to show you some of the art that I get to do for Star Wars, something I've loved since I was a kid. Incredible to be here with you, Stephanie, and what you do. I love what you do in the hobby. I love how people feel about you, and the opportunity to get a chance to work with you and meet some of the people. It's really exciting for me. I appreciate the opportunity.
So did you start with Star Wars?
Yeah, I think I was mentioning it before. I sent Topps just a cold call art department. Here's some of my baseball art, and they got back to me. They're like, "Cool, we like it. Do you want to do Star Wars?" And then sent me an invite to the Galaxy 22 set, and I was like, "I'm in." Although I had no idea what it meant, So I had like an email with it was Keith at the time. I had an email back and forth with him about, okay, so you guys send me blank cards, and I draw. So I thought I'd draw an 8x10 and you make a card. Nope, they send you a blank card that you're gonna sketch or paint on, and send it back to us, and we'll put it in the set. They came out December 22. So 6 months later, and so I've only been like on the sets for about a year. That's come out a little more than a year now. I think I've done like 700 or 800 sketch cards now.
In your opinion, a set like Masterwork or a set like Galaxy Chrome, how rare should sketches be, do you think?
It's a great question, and it's really cool to see how kind of often they come out in Masterworks. I did 120 myself that were included in the Masterworks set. You want them to be rare enough that they're exciting to hit, but I think if they're too polluted, then it could be a problem. But if they're really, really rare, like the Chrome set that came out earlier last year, like I think that's almost like that's the far end of like
cases.
That's probably not enough.
Too much.
Because I think again, a lot of the people that I've met really do collect them and really want that's a big hit for them. So somewhere in between that probably is like the magic number, I guess. I hope.
Yeah, Masterwork was a lot, but
it's a lot because of the pushback. I think that was the thing. Like we got 4 different opportunities to we need more. Would you like to do more? Would you like to do more? So that's the reason there's so much of our art in there. But so that's one. You don't want them to take so long all the time, but at the same time, you want a good number in there. So yeah, there's a magic number probably somewhere out there. But for me, ideally, you want a case, right? Like so you hit that in the case and you're hyped, and then you have that to look forward to if you haven't hit it yet. I think that'd be the idea for me. Most of us as Topps artists are on like a text thread, and a guy's like, "Hey, they're breaking Masterworks already," and it felt like a day or two early. So they're like, "It's on YouTube." So it jumped onto YouTube, and within 1 minute of jumping into YouTube, I see the guy opening the packs, and I could see my signature. Couldn't see the card yet, but I could see the signature, and I'm like, "That's me." And so I'm in the chat being like, "Oh my God, that's me, yo, that's me." Right? And he turns it around, and he's like, "Oh, yeah. He could probably do that in 20 seconds while he's sitting on the toilet, depending on what he ate for dinner last night." And he puts it over to the side. Total guy that didn't understand like sketchbook. And I'm dying laughing. I legit thought it was pretty funny.
I honestly saw that.
Yeah, I think I saved the video and I reposted it.
You know the like Inception thing in here? It's like the guy that did that is a guy that Noah earlier was in here saying that was one of the first breakers he's ever seen.
That guy. Oh yeah, totally. I guess
he's like, we gotta get him in here.
Yeah. No, and again, I've reached out to him. I've talked to him. I had no hard feelings about it. I thought it was pretty funny. The whole chat is lighting him up. Just like, dude, the artist is in here, you jerk, And he was like, he's not looking at the chat, so he's just like moving on, and then he's like, wait, the artist is in here? I'm like, dude, yeah, it's right, I'm right here. And I didn't do it on the toilet, promise. Like, there's no toilet particle on that. but it was pretty funny to me, obviously. Some people kind of understand, and again, I understand the point he's making. Some people do just burn something out real quick, and other people spend a lot of time. I'm definitely spending as much time as I can. It was a funny comment to me, and I know he was just trying to be funny, and he said that afterwards. He's like, man, I know, it's a cool piece of art. I was just like making a joke.
Yeah.
So I had no hard feelings. It was pretty funny to me. My wife, when I first got the Star Wars gig and I was telling her about it, she's like, "Oh, cool, you got to make Ewoks." Yeah. And I was like, "Ewoks? Like the first thing you think of for Star Wars is Ewok?" She's like, "I love those things." I was like, all right. So every set that I've contributed to that wasn't specifically or like a show that didn't have Ewoks in it, that I'm allowed to make Ewoks for, I've made at least one Ewok for every set. And this was the one I kept. This was from Galaxy of this year, 23 Galaxy. But yeah, do a Wicked or at least some Ewok for every set for that reason, for sure, as well.
Very cool. You spend a lot of time watching the shows, I'm sure,
For
and
sure.
spend a lot of time thinking about what characters to draw.
True story.
So, if you had to do a set with the 3 cringiest Star Wars characters, who would you say?
Oh,
Sketch.
well, you know what? It's funny because I have a couple different ways I would go with cringiest. Like, Frog Lady for me is like, she just shows up so much, you know what I mean? And it's always kind of funny. Something that's like been really entertaining for me is the drummer.
Yeah.
As an autograph is like just incredible that like this dude probably drummed for 5 minutes and he's now signed 400,000 autographs. That's pretty entertaining to me. So I actually like kind of collect his cards now, the autographs, and I like turn them into one of ones as well because I'm just like, this is incredible, the drummer, you know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cringy, also kind of amazing.
And the third?
The third cringiest, I don't know if I got a good one for that.
So, rapid fire Star Wars questions. Favorite woman in Star Wars?
Oh, wow, great question. Jyn Erso.
Nice.
Yeah, I think, you know what, her character arc isn't like this huge thing, but like super important. Love how brave she was. Love that she just went all in. I love Rogue One, so Jyn Erso.
Favorite droid?
Probe droid, straight up probe droid. That thing is just like mean, vicious looking, and super fun to draw. Just really cool. Like it's one of those ones that you like kind of wish you could just like make out of spare parts when I was a kid. Like just glue stuff together and like probe droid. You know?
Best lightsaber?
Oh, yo, it's got to be Obi-Wan for me. There's just so much like legacy in that one. That one like been through a lot.
Best planet?
Dagobah, for sure, Dagobah.
Nice.
Like, again, just dope, cool planet, super fun to draw. Important stuff happened there for our main character, and a 900-year-old you will be someday. So Dagobah.
I wanted to be an art
All
historian.
right.
Did you study art?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I was like, thought I was going to go to art school and ended up taking a different route. Yoda and Vader, I think, are just all-time characters. Kylo's cool. But yeah, those are probably my favorite to draw for sure. Yoda, obviously, just like kind of how old and cool he looks.
Here,
That's
so
a rad Luke card too. I don't think I've seen that one.
Ooh, that looks cool. That's a color match
Dang.
right
Yeah,
there.
the purple force.
Emperor
Blast.
Palpatine for E out of 125. That's super fun.
Little R2 in here. Little R2 unit. My R2 unit. Correct answer. Yeah, thanks. I mean, yeah, he's the dude. I mean, he's the only pilot that
Who's your
only actor, in fact, that played in all 3 trilogies.
I'm definitely going to be posting the final, the way that it looks at the end there on my Instagram and everything. So thanks so much. Ooh, look at that. Cool. That's awesome. Thank you everyone so much for watching here my episode of Meet My Hobby Friends. Ian McKesson, top sketch artist. Ian, where can we find you?
Main place is my Instagram. I try to put all my art up there and every different avenue I've done. I've been super fortunate to be featured in Thrasher magazine recently, as well as doing stuff in Star Wars and in Marvel and some other stuff coming up soon. But Instagram, @Ian McKesson, just all lowercase.